Can you talk a little bit about sort of what's next in the context of harmony and
Sure.
where you're headed next and
Sure.
that
I'm doing a show called Harmony. We did it in Atlanta in the fall, and we're doing it in LA starting next week. We start rehearsals, and it's a beautiful show, a new musical um, based on the comedian harmonists who were sort of the original boy band in 1920s, 30s Germany. And the story, it's a true story, but the story is why you've never heard of them. Um, and they were the most famous singing group in Europe ever, next to the Beatles. But you've never heard of them, and it's because three of the six men were Jews, and were basically the history of them has been eradicated from history because of it. And so it's a beautiful sort of show business story, and it feels almost like a golden age musical in a lot of ways until it starts getting interrupted in Act Two. I have a number. We were famous. The comedian harmonists were famous for emulating instruments. They were very similar to the revelers, but they imitated instruments. And so we have this number called Hungarian Rhapsody Number 20, and I play lead gypsy violin. It's my like big number. There's no violin, and clowning basically. And we do this number. It's a huge number and wonderful applause every night, always. And we go right into a reprise, and Nazis come through the house and start booing and throwing cabbage at the stage, and all of a sudden the show takes a turn and keeps getting interrupted, and basically ends with, I mean, not to give any spoil anything, but obviously you know where it's going. The show ends with us finding out that not only is it our last performance, but that our records have been confiscated as contraband, that the 13 films that we made have been burned, and that we've been eradicated from history. And so we sing one last song, one last performance, and move on. And the show basically is, the point of it is to tell the story that hasn't been told, and that's really, and there's many issues obviously with faith in that as well. And I play a Bulgarian immigrant who is the high tenor of the group, has no pretense, and doesn't get what's going on, but what we were talking about the other night, he sort of represents the people of that time who thought, oh, surely not, that this can't happen. And I was saying I'd done some research before, and then they had interviewed a Holocaust survivor where they asked her, why didn't you stand up? Why didn't you do something? Why, And she said, I just thought there must have been one good German out there. And that phrase stuck with me so hard. Because to me, it's the overlying idea of, when you see something horrible happen, you don't take immediate action because, you think somebody will see this. Somebody will stand up for this. This is not right. And so that's where my character sort of comes from, in the fact that he doesn't see it coming and almost inadvertently allows it to happen because he thinks, surely not, this can't happen. Believes that people don't have that capability inside them. He only sees, it's like I've described it, it's like Buddy the Elf in Nazi Germany, unfortunately. And he doesn't, he wants everybody to love each other, and he doesn't understand. And so it's doubly heartbreaking to play that frame of mind, to fall so far. And that's just that is by far the most difficult thing I've ever done emotionally. It's terribly physically and vocally demanding, but the emotional toll of it after, the first two shows I came off stage and I was like, I can't cry anymore. I can't do this. This is so hard to tell this story 8 times a week, But understanding how important it is to tell the story is what gets you through, and why it's still, as heartbreaking as it is, there's that glory in it of knowing that you're sharing this beautiful story with people who would never know. otherwise, and that there are new people in the audience every night. That's what has kept me going with this, and what makes me excited and scared to do it again and to have it. It's probably, I mean, it's very, very good, and there's already talk of a Broadway transfer, and it's as daunting as it is exciting because of the emotional nature of the show.